Oh my God, Kobe, you have to call 911.
What? Why, Barry? What's going on?
There's a white man down. What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This.
I like it's like one semi-racist line and in the whole movie, and you pick that as her tagline.
It's not.
It's not.
A certain somebody knew that if he had stated the race of the person, that somebody would call them. Oh man, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the actual final movie of Motto Month.
Yeah.
I had to go look at our text messages just to be like, was that not the fourth movie? Oh man, and I kind of had to. What's up? Go ahead.
I was gonna say I do that a lot. I make a list at the beginning, and then I can't remember, how many we did, or so I make like a list of we get our theme, and I'll make a list of 8, and then I'll look and I'll be like, okay, this one's not playing anywhere, and I don't want to rent it, so we'll skip. And then, and then at the end, I'm like, which ones did we do? Did I do enough?
Well, thankfully you're not like a huge texter, so it's easy to go backtrack. So, yeah, just a note: if you know Kobe, the best way to get to him is the old-fashioned phone call.
Hate phone calls. Ugh, yuck. I always joke that the phone is like the least used app on my phone.
I know, but if I gotta get a hold of you quicker, it's the fastest way.
That's true. I always do answer.
Yeah, because I feel like every time you look at a text message, you see it, you register it, and then something catches your attention.
Right? Yeah, I'm a little ADD and easily distracted.
Oh man, but yeah, let's go ahead into our first section, Mr. Movie Trailer, so we can finally talk about the movie. Jamal's a minimum effort worker, skating by till something better comes along, until he falls into the mode at work and ends up in 14th century London. What will he do to survive? Starring Marsha Thomason, Tom Wilkins, and Martin Lawrence. See who saves the kingdom in 2001's Black Knight. Yeah, I almost got the voice down.
You did, yeah, and no bumbles. That was straight through. You rehearsed that one.
Yeah, that one. I was like, this is definitely when you read the VHS.
Yeah,
that's the VHS movie voice.
Yep.
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about the 2001 film starring Martin Lawrence, Black Knight. One of, a very early version of a isekai. Now, Colby, were you familiar with this movie?
I didn't see this in the theater, but I'm pretty sure I watched it, I rented it way back when it first came out.
I mean, it had one of a very classic, DVD cover.
Yeah.
Martin Lawrence in what I can only presume is an Eagles jersey with a helmet of armor on, holding a sword. This is towards, the end of the ludicrous 90s-esque type of movies, correct?
Yes. This came out just shortly after Big Mama's House. And this was shortly after the kind of the long running Martin
Run. Martin Show.
Yeah.
I mean, Martin Lawrence in the early 90s and early 2000s, who was a pretty much bigger star than what he is today. Because, he had the Bad Boys movies. He had a couple of, one-offs, like Blue Streak. It's, the one that really comes to mind to me. And yeah, obviously the Big Mama stuff, which I feel like a lot of people either loved it or hated it. You know,
Right.
because like if you think about Martin Lawrence as like a comedian or even as just like an actor, he's very much in the realm of over the top like Jim Carrey.
Yes. Yo, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah, because him and Jim, both legends in their own right in their comedy space, but like kind of like two sides of the same coin. Very like a lot of slapstick humor, over the topness, and so him doing this movie, as ridiculous as it seems, I don't think I could have seen anyone else pull it off.
Yeah. I actually, like, a little fun fact when I was looking into it. They had talked to Chris Tucker, the
Yeah,
from
from
Rush
Rush
Hour,
Hour and Friday.
for doing this part, but they ended up going with Martin
Yeah, and I
because
think
he was also a very like animated physical.
okay, like actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like because of Martin Lawrence's stature, it fit a little bit more than
Right.
like like what's it called? Chris Tucker is very tall, much more
Mm-hmm.
taller. So I think this just made it a lot more funny. But before we get into our thoughts about the movie, let's go ahead and start the movie review or movie plot. So this movie starts off with Martin Lawrence getting very well manicured for work. I gotta respect the self care routine in this. He's doing his ears, he's trimming everything. I was like, okay, maybe if I had no context of what this movie was, I was like, okay, maybe he has a pretty good job. But then he puts a Phillies jersey on in Los Angeles, and with the top down of his, I don't know, '78 Mustang, which by the way you could not do today. That thing is getting stolen so fast. Being from LA
It's a
myself,
nice car. Yeah.
he puts on a vest and he goes to work at a not very, but like a run-down medieval small theme park.
Yes. Medieval land.
Yeah, medieval land. Which, like, you know what, you kind of don't see that anymore. Just small theme parks.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
It seemed like almost like a fair or like a permanent fair. I don't know.
Yeah. Like a very, like I wouldn't be surprised if it had a mini golf.
I was just kind of thinking that. Yeah.
Yeah, because like later on you do see they have like batting cages, so possibility they have a mini golf situation. A nice place to take for a first date.
Right.
But Jamal, who is Martin Lawrence, is very like, what is that French word? Laissez da, I don't know, blah blah blah, French stuff. Very just nonchalant about this whole job. He's like, whatever, I'm here to clock in, which, I mean, to be fair, is very normal for today's standard of employees.
But he's less I hate this job than a lot of kind of like these comedy things where like you had like was a Gerberger was like, we love this job too more than is possible.
Yeah.
But like generally like you have like the kids are just like, I'm looking to do as little as I can. I'm gonna ditch out of work, and he at least is like, but I'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, there's a part of him you can tell that, like, if he really didn't care about the job, he wouldn't be following what the boss was saying.
Right.
But
at
yeah.
least he's got to make enough money to keep his car going.
I mean, geez, like, working at this, whatever it can be called, he's able to afford an apartment in L.A. So. Oh. But, that was a different time, right? But they have a team meeting with the boss, Mrs. Boschnick. I believe it's weird, weirdly spelled. But she's like, all right, guys, just to let you guys know, Castle World is going to be opening up 2 miles away from us. But hey, we've survived much worse. We like survived a recession, like blah blah blah, all these things, and we could do it. And Martin Lawrence is like, nah. And he's basically in front of the whole team. He's like, Mrs. Boschnick, how about you just cash out, go to Miami, get you a top down and a bald pool boy.
Yup.
And everyone kind of laughs, you know, and like you could tell like these two are probably pretty close. Like he's probably been working there for the longest.
Right.
And so he has a comfortable relationship with the boss. And she's like, I can't do that. I've been giving jobs to this community that needs it.
Right.
And he's just like, yo, but you gotta take care of yourself. Like, look out for you, number one. And she's kind of just really disappointed at it, right? Because like, Martin Lawrence is talking about how this community hasn't given anything back to her. Which, fair. You know, like you work for the community so long that like sometimes you like, damn, can somebody appreciate me? And so everybody
just takes advantage of you, or not takes you for granted.
Yeah, exactly. And so like you can kind of understand both sides. You know what I mean? But it's like one is like a never-ending battle, and then for Martin Lawrence's side is like, hey, you fought it long enough. And so she's like, oh, man, Jamal, you know, I had so much hopes for you. She's like, it feels like she sees something in Jamal's character, in Jamal.
Right, yeah.
And he was like, you put too much, you know, you overestimated me. And so she was like, all right, well, hey, why don't you freshen up the helmets, too, for the batting cages? And he's like, oh.
Right. Yeah. He's like, oh, you're going to smart ass me in front of everybody? You clean the moat.
And the helmets. And so he gets a suit on, and he's talking to like one of his coworkers, and he's like, he has an application for Castle World.
And the coworker is Daryl Mitchell.
Yeah.
And I know him from being the funniest guy in Galaxy Quest.
Yeah. Was he like, I forgot what he was. Oh, he was the pilot.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know what I'm doing. And so like they're talking, you know, they're kind of laughing it up, like, yeah, we're gonna go to Castle World, we have all this experience anyway, we're just gonna leave this dump. And Martin Lawrence is like, he looks over the moat and he sees something shining in the moat, and for some reason he thinks that this thing in the moat is gonna be worth any money.
Right, yeah. It's some kind of like necklace pendant, and he's hoping some gangster dropped it in there, that it's like a big gold coin or something.
Yeah, it's a gold chain. It's a big gold chain in LA. Who else is gonna drop that, right? And so, what's it called? His coworker goes, he's like, oh, let me go get something and we'll fish it out. But Martin Lawrence is a pretty impatient guy, so he goes to dive for it.
Yeah.
But it sucks him in. And then all of a sudden, he pops out of a river in 14th century London, which he doesn't know yet.
Right.
But he gets confronted by Tom Wilkinson's, what's his name in there? Sir Notch?
Nolte.
Oh, Sir Nolte. He doesn't know he's a sir because he looks like a peasant.
Right.
He even tries, the guy kind of croaks a little bit, and he's like... And this is where you can kind of tell Jamal's character, even though he's pretty brash, he's still like a good person.
Right.
Because he's like, oh my gosh, you're not breathing. He yells out 911, white man down. And at the end of it, he's like, I guess I have to give him CPR. But he's like, oh my God, the smell. Oh.
It smells like you've never brushed your teeth. And he probably hasn't.
Exactly. And so, being the easily presumable player that he is, of course he has like the mouth spray. Ends up spraying it into this 14th century man's mouth, and he gets up like he just smells smelling salts.
Right. Well, it's because it's super minty. I remember having the breath sprays, yeah.
And so Sir Nolte is like, oh my God, you've saved my life. Here's some food. And he's like, oh my God, that looks like roadkill. It's like a skinned rabbit.
Right.
He's
Or
like,
it could be a cat, something that
oh,
size.
yeah. And he's like, no, I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm gonna go now. He's because he's still presuming that he just fell and somehow washed up somewhere, which
Right. And when he sees this guy dressed like this, he's kind of like, oh, you're trying to get a job at Castle World? Well, you probably shouldn't show up drunk. You
yeah.
know, like
And so he starts to kind of wander into the forest until he wanders in like a small village. And all of a sudden, he almost gets trampled to death by these guys in suits of armor and riding on horseback, and he starts to chase after them. And he's like, "Oh damn, Castle World looks legit." Which I gotta say, I guess in your brain, right, you try to just rationalize things because
oh right, yeah, you're not
being
like, oh, I'm in 1482. Yeah.
well, no, it was 1384.
1384,
Yeah,
whatever.
I took note of that for some reason. But like, dude, you're from downtown LA, and you see a castle in the middle of the wooded area. Come on. But he tries to get in there.
There's not that much open land in LA.
Yeah, exactly. He tries to get into the castle because he's chasing after these guys that almost killed him. Gets stopped by the guards, and he's like, "They're like, who are you, sir?" He's like, "Oh, now I gotta talk to your manager. Those guys almost ran me over. It's crazy." He's like, "Sir, please, you're not allowed in here." And he's like, "Oh, you don't understand me. I'm from Florence and Normandy." Which is across streets, I guess, in LA.
Yep.
And they're like, "Oh my God, you're the messenger from Normandy." Please,
let us get the king. Let him know that you're here.
So he gets in there, and man, Jamal's like, "Wow, this place is legit. Got the costumes, got a whole bunch of white people, and Jesus, the smell is even on point." Which at this point you could tell it all smells like poop.
Yeah, right. Yep.
There are no showers for the normal people in here. But he's like super amazed at everything until he glances at a woman who is Victoria. We later learn, but when she introduced, well, like when Martin Lawrence goes up to her, he pulls a little handkerchief she was holding, and he starts spitting some game. And she's just so like befuddled by his tongue.
Right. His vernacular.
Yeah, his vernacular is like, "You speak in strange tongues," and and he's like, oh, he's like playing like this whole slimy character player. He's like, "Yeah, I'm a talent agent. We gotta probably take some photos of you in a thong." She's like, "You know what?" It's like, "It's fine. We can get some granny panties and cut the butt out." And he's like, "Oh, all right, well, here, how about I get your number?" And she's like, 7. He's like, 7? He's like, "Yes, I'm maid number 7." And he's like, "Oh, nah, hold on, let me get a pen. Anyone have a pen?" And she's like, "Oh my gosh, you know how to read and write?" And he's like, "Of course I do. Who have you been dating?" But all of a sudden, out of the castle comes Percival.
Yeah.
Who's like the knight that almost ran him over, and he's groping all these like chambermaids, and he even gets really close to Victoria, and Martin Lawrence is not having it. He's like, "Hey, come on, man, that's a lady. Not like 5 seconds ago you were trying to get her in a thong to do like some fake photo shoot."
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But he was like, "I'm less creepier than that guy." And they almost get into a scuffle until, what was it, like the court administrators like, "Oh, sir, from Normandy, messenger from Normandy. The king will see you now."
Right. Yeah. Philip.
Yeah. Oh, Philip, is that his name?
Philip.
And so he's like, "Hey, man, Percival, you're really lucky. All right, I'll see you later." And so, like, they start walking towards the king, but Philip is like, "A messenger from Normandy. How shall I introduce you to the king?" And so When he gets in there, he's all like, what did he say his height was? Like 5'10"? He's like, coming in at 5'10" from Inglewood High School, starting small forward, 2-time conference champion, Jamal Skywalker. And man, Jamal comes in here. He's like, yeah. He's coming in here like it's like a, he's just coming in there like high fiving everybody.
Right, because he's both very impressed on how Castle World, which he thinks he's at, looks, and he's like, this is kind of like my job interview. Like they call the manager the king. This is great. I love this.
Yeah, and so he's doing his introduction to the king. The king's like, oh, so when can we expect your duke? And he's like, yeah, Tuesday. He's like, oh my gosh, so fast. And so, yeah, everything seems cool. Like, what's it called? The king is showing the utmost hospitality to Jamal. He's like, you may have any woman in the court. And his daughter, though, is like looking at him.
Right. Yeah.
And he's like, except my daughter.
Right, because the prince from Normandy is supposed to be showing up.
Or the duke.
Oh, the duke. To marry the daughter so that the two kingdoms can have peace.
Yeah, and solidify ties with each other. And so, Philip takes Jamal away to show him his quarters, but Jamal's like, hey, I got to go pee. Where are your laboratories? What did they call it? Like privies,
yes, yeah,
or something like that. And he goes in there, and it's worse than a porta potty in a construction site. He's like, oh my god, there's doo-doo everywhere. There's doo-doo on top of doo-doo.
He's like, hey, you can't ask your customers to wipe their butt with hay.
Yeah, it's gonna cut his ass up, And then all of a sudden, everybody in the castle is like, oh my gosh, the execution is going to happen. And he's like, oh, dang, you guys have an execution? Cool, let's go check it out. Unfortunately, in which Jamal thinks is a fake execution, it is not. Because as soon as they kill the rebel, who, by the way, is wearing the same chain Jamal is, he picks up the head. He's like, it looks so real. Oh my God. It's because it's real. Then he faints. But he wakes up with chamber pot number 7, a.k.a. Victoria, helping him out. And she sees the chain, and she's like, you're a rebel. And he's like, what? Yeah, I'm a rebel, baby. He's thinking it like, the gangster sense. Like, yeah, I'm a rebel. And she's like, no, we should kill the king so we can put the queen back on the throne, on her rightful throne. And he's like, what? No, I got to get out of here. Like, this is I don't know what you're talking about. But he kind of plays along with it because he's very smitten by her.
Right. Yeah.
Which,
And he doesn't really know how to get out of here.
Exactly. He thinks going back into the river is going to help him, but, he doesn't know. And so, the next day happens, everybody wakes up. Well, they're having a party to celebrate his... Oh, no. So when they wake up in the morning, like, Philip comes, he's like, sir, you wanted to ride, right? And so the king comes, and he's like, oh, yeah, so we got you a horse, a black horse. Which, okay, sorry. I do have to premise this or whatever. If I retroactively say this, but when he first comes into the castle, there is a play about a Black Knight who is like this very, like, super being.
Right. Yeah, he's like beyond King Arthur.
Exactly.
He
like
slays
mythical.
Dragons and blows fire.
Yeah. And so like they give him a black horse, and he's like, Jamal's like, I don't. I'm a messenger and also my duke's jester.
Right. It's a good cover because like you could tell he's a little intelligent. This is not just like super street thuggy kid. You know, he's like, how am I going to cover that I've never ridden a horse because I'm from LA? So let me just say I'm also my duke's court jester. and that way when I fall off this horse, I can make it a joke.
Yeah. And like it's like a funny like body humor bit for like the first 3 to 4 minutes, but as soon as they're riding into town and he's still having trouble, the king is like, I do have to say, I do admit his dedication to his role because it stopped being funny so long ago. But he's kept up with it. Ha 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 ha. And so later at the banquet, they have for the arrival of the messenger bringing upon good news. Victoria is setting up the assassination for the king with two of her rebel friends, and Martin Lawrence is sitting with the king, and they're about to eat, but it's fucking gross, dude. This is how I know when like Europeans say other people are savages, but like Asian people were eating with like chopsticks and stuff.
Yeah,
We
so
had utensils.
he just like fists off a chunk of meat from the the
The chicken.
the chicken or the turkey,
Yeah.
and then grabs like a fistful of peas just right out of the bowl and hands it to Jamal. And
Yeah.
Jamal's, and then Victoria's like kind of giving him the wink, like, yes, take them. He's like, yeah, of course I want your peas that have been in your hand.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's so bad. It's so Jamal finds a way to like kind of. Oh well, no, the king is like, oh, I've heard that in Normandy, you're very good dancers. And so he's like, oh, well, I don't know if I should start dancing here. But he does, and it's kind of awkward. They're playing like, old Renaissance music, and he can't get jiggy with that. As
Right.
Michael Blackson said in Next Friday, he can't get jiggy with that. So he goes over there and he's like, all right, come on, guys. I need you guys to give me like a bass line. I need you to give me some drums, some trumpets. And he starts kind of orchestrating it. The king's like, Skywalker, my patience is thinning. And he's like, hold on, man. You gotta just give me a second. We gotta get into it slowly, And he starts, he starts doing it. It starts all coming together. And he's like, he's dancing all over this hall, dance or mess hall, whatever you want to call it.
Right. Yep.
He
He's
starts,
getting the crowd into it.
and everyone's had, and then the trumpets hit, the bass line's hitting, the piano or accordion piano.
And I love that they didn't like go over the top with the music.
Yeah.
Like it was music that you could actually play with the instruments that they have
Yeah.
there.
It's
It wasn't
very
like
Bridgerton-ish.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It wasn't like oh let's rap some Dr. Dre, or it wasn't like something like that these people would totally not have gotten.
Yeah. Because it's almost like this movie could have just been PG if it didn't have some blood in it.
Right.
But it's super fun, and like the dance hall is getting crazy, but then Victoria and the assassins are working in the background, plotting to finally kill the king. And then all of a sudden, the princess pulls Jamal away and they start making out. Percival takes note of this and he's like, it seems like that Moor doesn't know his place. And so they get into a whole scuffle. And before the assassins can kill the king, Jamal, in his efforts to get away from Percival, accidentally thwarts their assassination attempt.
Yeah.
And so the king is like, oh my god, Sir Skywalker, you're so amazing. And I feel like I should repay you. I'll give you lordship in my court. And Percival is pissed.
Right.
And Jamal is rubbing salt into it. And he's like, how could you let the security get so bad in this place? What was going on? Oh my god. Just totally just extra egg on his face, right?
Yeah.
Oh man. But what was great about that is like, yeah, and so after that, Jamal's going about his day. He's making like plans to open up a Jamal in the box, creating the first drive-through. or as he said, ride through.
Ride through so that you could come through and get your lattes and then go and you know plun, plun, pillage and
Plunder,
plunder.
yeah, pillage and plunder. And like, his security team is like, hell yeah. And as Jamal's like walking through the kingdom, the king is like, Jamal, what are you doing with your security force? There's this peasant here who almost stole a turnip. Off with his head and his family. And he's like, oh my god. And he kind of plays it up. And again, a very good guy. He's like, he acts it up, and he drags him over a way on a turn on a corner. And the guy's like, oh my god, please, sir, please don't kill me. And he's like, I'm not gonna kill you, man. Here's some money. Get out of here with your family. I'm not gonna kill nobody. Right? And so later that night, he sends for Victoria, who's there in the buff. And she's like, let's just get this over with. And undresses herself. And he's like, whoa, what are you doing? And she's like, isn't this what you wanted? After thwarting the assassination attempt on the king, now you're going to take my body? And he's like, no, I felt like, like this is the only way I could talk to you because the king is crazy. He wanted me to kill somebody over some vegetables. And in between the conversation, he's like moaning, pretending the sex.
Right, yeah.
And she's like, I thought you were a courageous person, but you're nothing but a coward. And she moans a little bit too. She's like, yeah, good. And meanwhile, like, the knights are like listening in, like, oh my gosh. But she's like, I never want to see you again. Bye. Right? And then later that night, though, somebody else comes into her room, and it being 14th century London, there's not a lot of light.
Right, yep. So we just get silhouette,
a little bit of moonlight maybe. They both have very curly hair, like 4A hair. Yep. I learned the types of hair now. I think it's 4A if they have a coil. Or maybe 3D or 3C, I don't know.
Apparently, Barry's switching careers.
It comes up on my TikTok for some reason. But yeah, and so the morning after, though, Percival is like, he knows that something's going on.
Right.
And so, oh, no. Early that morning, the messenger from Normandy actually comes.
Oh, right, yeah.
And so they go into Jamal's room, and he's like, what's going on, guys? Why are you guys all over here? And all of a sudden, the princess comes up, and then the messenger's like, it seems like your daughter has been sullied. The Duke will no longer partake in this marriage. And oh my gosh, they caged Martin Lawrence up in like one of those hanging like cages.
A little dog cage size.
And like the other two assassins were like, hey, we were very pissed that you thwarted our assassination attempt, but sleeping with the princess, genius.
Right, yeah. No, now you've guaranteed that the king can't,
extend his power.
Yep.
Ah, but now assassinating him is much more harder. and so on the day of of the execution, he's like, I'm a sorcerer. Ooh. I have fire. And he's like, we already have fire.
Right, and he's got a lighter and he lights it, and everybody's like, yeah, okay.
I know, but still, in 14th century, pulling a lighter is like, and doing it in your hand without like a rock, still pretty impressive, I feel like. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
not as impressive as he thought it was going to be.
Yeah. But all of a sudden, the executioner starts choking on an apple. And they're like, oh, dear, he's cursed the executioner. And he's like, no. Yes, I have cursed him. But if you want me to save him, let me perform some magic on him. And he gives him the Heimlich maneuver.
Yep.
And the executioner looks at him at awe. He's like, you saved my life. And they're like, and Percival's like, this guy's a charlatan. He's a liar and a charlatan. But all of a sudden, as Jamal is making a speech about having the sun come down on them, a flaming arrow, I believe, hits the executioner, or like no, it hits the little fucking
the
tarp.
like like the curtains behind the.
And they're like, oh my god, he is a sorcerer.
He's making the sky fall.
Oh my god, he's making fire rain from the skies. And so like everyone starts getting into a panic. The king is like, take me inside, save me. And then Victoria comes with the carriage and is able to escape, but unfortunately Martin Lawrence kind of falls off of it. And so he's running until he's able to slide out underneath the gates. And then Nolte's there, and it's another little gag that they do, where like he's trying to get onto the horse, and he's like, "All right, fifth time's a try, fifth time's a charm," and they're able to get away. So when they get into the encampment of the rebels, Jamal's trying to talk to Victoria, and she's just like, "Just leave, like the river is that way." And, Jamal's, like, trying to convince her, like, hey, I'm not being a coward, but this isn't me.
Right. You should come with me, because here you're just, like, serving gruel to guys who are, like, flirting with you.
Yeah, no one's appreciating your intelligence.
And yeah, you come, with me, you could be hanging out, drinking Mai Tais and hanging out by the pool, shopping at
Rodeo. And he's like, come on, Mai Tais and pool or gruel? And, she's like, you know what? Even if this place isn't perfect, it's where I belong.
Right.
Or this is my home. So it is my duty to, even if it's in the smallest way, to make this place better.
Yeah.
And so, and Nolte is like, hey, I've done my part, but I'm not going to take part in this rebellion. And we learned that Nolte had gotten tricked by Percival, which in turn made the queen lose her seat.
Yeah.
And so,
and he had showed up because he felt obligated to Jamal, because Jamal saved him with the breath spray. But yeah, he felt like he owed Jamal for saving his life. So he's like, now the deed has been repaid.
Yeah. And so Jamal heads towards the river, and he's looking at it, and he's like, it's not my problem. It's not my problem. This isn't my home. I don't have to do this. And meanwhile, Nolte is getting bullied by Percival's goons.
Right.
And before, like, he's like forced to pick up this gourd from this mountain of dung, Jamal stops him, and he's like, nah, what you doing, man? What you doing, Nolte? Like, get out of here, man. You crazy. And he starts to fuck up these three guys with some modern day boxing. He's giving them the Muhammad shuffle, the Ali shuffle. He's giving them the rope-a-dope. And Nolte's like enthralled by this.
Yeah.
And after they do away, and Nolte actually saves him because Jamal's about to get hurt really badly. He's like, come on, man, help me. It shouldn't be a 1v3, it should be 2v3.
Right. Yeah, because Nolte wasn't fighting back at first, because he's like, when I left this war, I would never pick up arms again.
Yeah. But Jamal has inspired him to fight back.
Yeah.
Right? And so he stops them, and they fight them off together, and Nolte's like, could you show me that rope-a-dope move that you did? But when they get back to the camp, it's been raided by Percival's men, and they have taken Victoria. And so now, Jamal's like, oh man, we gotta get back. We gotta get our lick back. You know what I mean? We gotta save the kingdom. And I ever saw one of the assassins is like, they have no more will. The morale is so low. Who will spring up their morale? And all of a sudden, the queen is there, and she's like, maybe they surely will take arms up for me. And Nolte is like, Like Jamal's like, how are you gonna be able to give a speech like to raise their morale? And Nolte's like, she can make the heavens weep. And all of a sudden, England. And Jamal's like, what the fuck? And so he starts his speech, which, at first is a little bit rocky.
Right. Yeah.
But by the end of it, he's like, he's able to rally them. He's giving them a little bit of Al Sharpton. He's like, yeah, can y'all give me an amen? And it was like, amen. And so we start this training montage of like ridiculous WWE style moves.
Jump kicks and body slams.
Yeah, and like a little bit of football practice. And it's a good old fun montage. And Nolte's in there too. He's seeing all the moves. And so, yeah, the next maybe like in a week or so of training, they storm the castle, but Percival has set a trap for them. Yes. And they are surrounded by bowmen and cavalry all around. The one thing that was great, though, before they actually stormed the castle, Nolte had given Jamal some armor. He's like, well, every knight needs an suit of armor. Right. And Jamal had given him his, I believe, Jordan 9s or 8 or 12s. I can't remember which one they were. He's like, you move faster with these.
You'd be a much faster knight wearing sneakers than you will wearing 100-pound metal boots.
Yeah. And Jamal, like that, before the night of the raid, he actually paints his armor black. Yeah. And so during the fight, like the rebellion is kind of losing some people with the, all the bowmen and all this stuff. And Jamal comes in with his black horse and his black armor. And the cavalry that was outside was like, oh, fuck this. The Black Knight is here. They go away, and they kind of like, he's able to kind of quell a little bit of the fighting until he hits himself.
Right, because he's got his can of spray paint.
Oh, yeah. And he breathes fire.
He's got the spray paint and the lighter and makes it look like he's blowing flames. And everybody's like, oh my God, it is the real Black Knight. Yeah. We're doomed.
Yeah, because like in one of the legends, the Black Knight had slayed a dragon, ate his heart, and had given him the ability to breathe fire. Yep. But Percival's, it's not the Black Knight, it's that more. And I was like, hey man, I feel like I don't even feel like I should be saying it like that, because why does it have such a hard R? But yeah, no, like this is called, they're fighting. Jamal's like, helping everybody out, saving some people. Nolte, he's taking into practice all that he learned from Jamal by rope-a-doping people and doing the Ali shuffle. And man, him and like Jamal are kind of, they're like, oh man, you got it. And then all of a sudden, what was it called? Well, Percival escapes a fight, and he actually ends up killing the king. Right. Because in the confusion, if he was able to win this battle, he was like, the king perished. I didn't kill him. Because, they don't have CCTVs there. But he ends up, shooting Nolte with an arrow. And so, like, Nolte even drags out Victoria to drag Jamal up there. And so they have like this, they have this like sword fight. Jamal is super outclassed because he's not a swordsman. You know what I mean?
Right. He did do like little plastic sword fighting. Yeah. With Steve at the beginning before.
But he even died in that.
Yeah, right.
But like he cuts Victoria's neck, and so like Jamal's like, oh hell no, you know what I mean? And so, and he's like, you couldn't save anyone, not Victoria and not Nolte. And he looks at Nolte, he's like, nah, I'm running this fade. As the kids would say, does that little sword kick thing to it's like a little board trick that you do with your skateboard that
Yep.
Nolte had showed him. And yeah, they have a good old fight. And he's able to like, yeah, he fucks him up. He's like, oh, how about a little baseball? What about a little basketball? And,
Right, because he's athletic, so he's swinging the sword like he would swing, the
yeah,
golf club and a baseball bat.
yeah, even slam dunks him. And so like he knocks him out. He's able to free Victoria, and she's like, you came back for me, and all that stuff, and you stirred the rebellion to take over the castle again. And they're having this moment, but Percival gets up, and he's like about to kill Jamal, but then Nolte for the win. Because first of all, he pulls out the bow or the arrow out of him, and the guy has
But
grit, right?
it's kind of the rope-a-dope.
Yeah.
He faked being dead, so that like you wouldn't pay attention. Then he could just pop the arrow out, shoot you in the back.
And so when that happens, like, obviously all of his knights had lost morale. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, our captain is dead, so we lost the fight. And so, yeah, and then so after that, we cut to a little bit of more time, and Jamal and Victoria had gotten married. I could only presume they got married. And they're kissing, and the queen is like, oh dear, like, what is he doing with his tongue? Nolte's like, my liege, he's French. And Jamal's super excited. He's telling Victoria, like, yeah, we're going to go back to my time. And, I'll put you in school and stuff. I mean, she's really smart, so I'm pretty sure, like, she'd want to learn more, right?
Right, yeah.
And he's, like, making all these plans. And the queen is like, oh, I'm so sad to see you go. But before you go, I want to knight you. And so, as she begins to knight him, all of a sudden, it starts to cut to the real world, or to his world,
Yeah.
where Jamal got, presumably he drowned. And, I would feel so sad about this, too, because he looks for, the first thing he asks is, where's Victoria? And Steve's like, what are you talking about, man? He's like, and he's like, wow, that was a really fucking vivid dream. But it's one of those dreams that really, like, stuck with him because, like, Miss Boschnick comes out and she's like, I'm going to take your advice, Jamal, and I'm cashing out. And he's like, no, you can't cash out. Like, we got to fight for this place. And she's like, why? What's the point? And, and Jamal's like, courage isn't in the absence of fear, but in the presence of it and the will to go forward.
Right.
Which is,
right.
like, I think a pretty classic, like, literary line. I just forgot how it goes, right?
Yeah, and right when after he gets saved, Steve had also said, "Oh man, you fell into the boat.
Oh,
you almost died. We could sue this place. We're going to be rich." And he's like, "We can't sue this place. There's no honor in that.
Yeah.
I fell."
Yeah. I mean, hey, better than me, because, man, I'm going to tell you right now, if I get hurt at work, I'm getting that workers' comp. There's a lot of dangerous situations in the back of house. I'm going to let you know that right now. A lot of missing panels and loose panels that could fall on me at any moment. Yeah, and so, like, he convinces Mrs. Boschnick to, like, or Boschnick to stick around. And, I got to say, like, in the month that, like, he really turned it around. They repainted the place. They cleaned it up. Probably fixed a couple of rides. Mrs. Boschnick is sitting on the throne, and he's like, my queen, and she's like giddy about it.
Right. Yeah, because he's like, I saw real, and I thought it was, Castle World.
Yeah.
We could do that here. We could make this place that cool.
Exactly. And he, like, he's like, it's finally, like, she's like, I knew there was something in you that, like, maybe you just didn't see. And he's, like, finally taking pride in his work. He's like, he looks like he's the manager now. because he's like, he's wearing something else. He's like wearing like a suede jacket. He's looking very clean. He was
Right.
looking clean at the beginning, but like, going to work in a Phillies jersey versus like semi-casual, business casual is a
Yeah.
difference,
Yeah.
right? And he's even like teaching the kid. He's like, "Hey man, don't be scared of the ball. You got to keep your eyes open so you can see it, you don't be afraid of it. And so like the kid hits the ball out of the park, and all of a sudden he hears the kid's aunt like, "Hey, good job," and it's Victoria reincarnated
Right.
because like he's like very smitten again, and he's like, "Where'd you get that scar?" And she's like, "Oh, I've always had this." Which, very Doctor Who-ish,
Yeah.
reviving for your true love or waiting, whatever. You know what I mean. I've only seen clips. And he's like, "Oh, like, yeah, can I take you out so you can tell me about it?" He's not trying anything. He's just very earnest
Yeah.
in his approach to her. And she's like, "Yeah, sure, let's go." But he's like, "Oh, snap, I forgot to get your phone number." And so as he runs out, somebody knocks him into the moat again, and unfortunately, he is isekai to gladiator times.
Waking
Which,
up in the Coliseum
yeah,
with
release.
3 angry lions running at him.
Yeah, I was like, that's gonna be a quick revive into the real world. Who knows though? Maybe they're going for Black Gladiator, because I think Gladiator with Russell Crowe came out, what, 99, 2000?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the movie ends there. So before we get into our thoughts about about the movie, let's go to our other section, high star and low star.
Boom. 10 out of 10, greatest movie ever. Martin Lawrence is a genius. This movie was so great. It had everything you wanted in a movie: kings eating globs of peas with their hands, fast food medieval times, and Martin Lawrence playing the greatest role ever, a Black Knight. I know this review sounds like a joke, but it's really not. I don't usually enjoy really dumb movies, like a hated scary movie and not another teen movie. But this film has substance and great humor, and as dumb as it was, I had a wonderful time watching it. I guess something that contributed to me loving this film was the fact that I love Martin, and although he plays the same character in every film, it just works best in this one. Big Mama's House is okay. National Security was a little bit better, but Black Knight is Martin's finest work. Anyone looking for a fun, stupid comedy to watch should definitely check this film out.
Oh God, I forgot about National Security too. That one's a good movie with Steve Zahn. And then we got 1 out of 10, just not funny. Martin Lawrence isn't funny. He wasn't funny on TV or in this movie. This movie is pure trash. I was taken to see this movie, and God, I feel like I wasted money. It was weak at best and a ripoff of a Bing Crosby movie, Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court, but with zero charm with the leading actor and zero screen presence. If I could rate this movie any negative number besides 0, it would be that. The film just plain stings. I mean, this movie, like, if you're okay, like when you see when you see the DVD cover of this movie, it's like this isn't gonna be some cinematic masterpiece.
Right. Yes. From the cover, from the movie poster, you know what you're getting.
Yeah,
And if you're at all familiar, like my review said, like Martin Lawrence plays a very similar character type in every movie. So if you are at all familiar with him, again, you know what you're going to get. So
yeah, but like, this movie is like kind of like honestly one of the very, I don't know, I don't want to say very few, but it's like the least vulgar of his movies.
Right.
I mean, Big
like
Mama's
said,
House wasn't vulgar, but
they were pushing to try to get the PG instead of the PG-13. But apparently, the thing that pushed it over was him using the spray paint can and the lighter.
Oh, really?
Was imitatable. Like they were scared that too young of kids were going to imitate that.
Yeah.
So that's why they made it PG-13.
and probably like a little bit of like the sexual themes of it.
Right.
But that
But
was very
there was
minimal.
it
Yeah.
was, and there was no nudity. It was
Yeah.
just kind of like inferred.
Yeah, and it wasn't vulgar at all. Maybe like the thong portion and a bit of the curse words is really what pushes to PG-13. But like it's a clean enough movie where you could watch it with young kids and like not have to really worry. I mean, let's be honest, like kids with phones in their pockets probably hear worse things now.
Oh yeah, 100%.
uh and like I got to say, like, as over the top as Martin Lawrence can act, this was pretty tame.
It was. It was a lot of hit. It was. God, it was like the best of him. Like
Yeah.
with, it was him taking it to that like sweet spot and not ever pushing it to stupid.
Exactly, right? And so this is just kind of like it's pretty fun. It's in the realm of like movies like Army of Darkness
I
and
I
A Knight's
kind of felt
Tale.
like that too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's in that realm where it's just like kind of good old Renaissance fun, and like it's nice to see a non like a person of color in this situation, and besides Percival, not have to hear like a lot of the possible like vulgar words about his race. Because to be fair, in this movie, there's only two black people,
Right. Yeah.
and it's kind of explained where she was from because it was said that she was from Africa.
Right. Yeah.
So why they had it, but besides Percival, no one's ever like even the king isn't like saying anything about his skin color. So that was
Right.
also nice.
Yeah. He was from France,
Yeah,
so that enough explanation.
I like that. I like that. That's a really plausible explanation to a lot of certain things. Because yeah, he was very outside of him, like outside of the time.
Right. Oh, his dancing? It's because he's French. He kissed that girl like that? It's French kiss. He's from France.
Yeah, the queen, the prince was like, "Your tongue was swimming inside of my mouth like an eel." Like, that's a French kiss, baby. Yeah, and I like it because it's sort of all the best parts of what you think would happen if you went back in time, right?
Right.
Not like in fucking Doctor Who, where I think in the female doctor's time, I saw a clip of like one of her companions, who's African American or African descent, had given some lady her handkerchief back, and then the guy slapped him because he was black. I was like, back in the early 2000s, the whole that wasn't as pushed being,
Right.
a
Yeah.
major issue. But no, yeah, this movie is just a ton of fun, man. And I that's what was there any particular parts that you really enjoyed?
I enjoyed it so much more than I remembered. Like I was, it like I said, underrated, and weirdly, I kind of figured out, like looking at it, kind of figured out why. This was actually supposed to come out like 9 months later than it did, but after 9/11,
Oh my gosh!
they
Okay.
they were really pushing theaters that had not action blow up
Oh, okay.
things movies,
Yeah.
but funny action movies. They were really pushing them to like get those into theaters to try to get people back out and get society like that kind of thing moving, but without being offensive. So a lot of like like the Arnold movies and the like Collateral Damage stuff like that. They were like those all got pushed out a year or two later after they were done.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's really good for them. You know what I mean? But we're coming up to our hour, so I want to go ahead and thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check all of our other months down below where we have holiday theme months, specific, like weirdly specific theme months, like anime adaptation, video game adaptation, stuff falling from the sky, that kind of weird and quirky stuff. But we do our reviews in 4 different sections where we have Stream It, DVD, Blu-ray, and the Ultimate Box Collection. Colby, what are you going for?
Um, I might have to go Blu-ray. I really enjoyed this. Like, I kind of like we had like said, sometimes Martin could like over Martin himself. But like he didn't in this movie. Like every time he pushed it like right to the boundary and like just kind of left it there to be like funny instead of being like, oh, that's too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is really one of my favorite things that he's been in. So yeah, I mean, like, hey, if you did a Martin box set and did a couple of his movies in that, I'd grab that.
National Security and Blue Streak would be like your review said. Yeah, probably the same, dude. This movie is so much fun to me, and it's such an easy watch that it's a super enjoyable, and it's like it can kind of fit any audience that you show it to.
Right, and even being that it was now more than 20 years old, it's
holds up.
Yeah, and it doesn't. A lot of this type of movie, you get like 20, 30 years out, and you're like, so much of that humor is no longer acceptable. It's no longer politically correct. We got to kind of like push that movie away. But this could be. Yeah, this could be. It'll fit anytime. I joked that was like white man down is like the worst.
The worst
thing they say in it, and it's
and more. I feel like I gotta look that up later. Oh man, but yeah, thank you guys.
That's true. That might end up being something.
I know, and I've said it too many times in this episode. But thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check all of our social media links down below where we have
Facebook, Facebook, Twitter, X, Threads, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. We're on all of them.
And we promise to use more of them in this upcoming year. But my name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check out the theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on our album Music Podcast 3, and the Bandcamp is down below.
Yeah, the damn camp is down below. Thank you.